Guys, it's Jen. This is another episode of Reframing Me. Thank you for joining me again today. I am your host, Dr. Jennifer Brubaker. So I wanted to start today's conversation off by having you think about this. The mindset of the leader is the success or failure of the organization. So this week in my class, my graduate students start their semester by studying communication and branding in businesses. And this statement, the mindset of the leader is the success or failure of the organization, it came to mind. The statement is true for most any organization. If the leader is a mess, the organization is going to be a mess too. But if the leader is thriving, then the organization will thrive too. We have said time and time again that families are systems. And just like any other system, its leadership determines its success. Our leadership determines its success because we are the leaders of our family, right? It's why we're the default parent. It's why our minds are racing. It's why no matter what we do, there's always more to be done. There's more to be planned, more to be thought about, more to be worried about. We're our family's leader, and the success or failure of our family depends on our mindset. Our families often, if not most always, right? Our families feed off of us. They feed off of our cues, our behavior, our attitudes. And if we are looking to improve our family's functioning, y'all, it starts with us. And yes, that's totally a lot of pressure, 100%. But we have the power to help the whole system to thrive. But we have to start with us. You cannot pour from an empty cup. In our last episode, we went through 10 of my favorite, and I would like to think most helpful, but 10 tips that I would give your teens as someone else's mom, meaning perhaps they might roll their eyes just a little bit less than when you're talking to them, and just a little bit less than my children do when I tell them things. 10 helpful hints as they head back to school. And as I told you that I would, I did go through those helpful hints with my own kids. I mean, you'd swear I was torturing them. Just yesterday, my husband was talking about my son and about football. And he said that he's tired of talking to him because everything I say goes in one ear and out the other. But it doesn't. I know that it doesn't. No, he may not act like he's paying attention or respond as if he has any intention of actually doing anything that we suggest. But I do know that he hears it. And I personally believe that it's all in there, making an impact for when he's in the situation. I like to think that it's like that for all of the stuff that I tell my kids. Like, they may not need it now, and they may not give me the response I would really kind of like right now, like the response that makes me feel good or feel smart or, oh, mom, you're so very wise. I'm so lucky to have you. Nah, I am just happy if in the middle of what I'm telling them, they don't just start talking about something else entirely. It's funny because that literally happened on the drive home yesterday. My daughter doesn't have cheer one afternoon a week, so I need to pick her up from school. And we were talking about something, and I don't even remember what it was. Obviously, I thought it was important at the time, but right now it clearly doesn't matter because I was mid-sentence and she interrupts my sentence. And, there was like a half a second that I had this little crazy thought like, oh, she's so engaged that she has something to add. And then, well, she did. It was just about something totally unrelated about a girl at school and something that had happened to her, something that was so embarrassing and completely unrelated to what we were talking about, or rather what I was talking about. Well, we weren't riding in silence with her AirPods in, so I guess I should just take it as a win. Those points that I told you and I told my kids, those points, I hope that they were helpful for them and helpful for your kids too. But if we really want this school year to be a success, to be happy, and to be peaceful, if we want our family to thrive, like I know we all do, then the mindset of its leader is pretty important. And I know that as school starts and the fall chaos begins, I can totally use some reminders because we can definitely do things on our end to get in our best possible mindset to steer this crazy train, lead this parade, run this organization. And creating the right mindset to help you thrive, especially when you are like us. We are pulled in a million different directions, but we need to make sure that we have just the right blend of self-care and a shift in our perspective and sprinkle in a little bit of some personal growth there too. So let's have a conversation about 10 tips to cultivate this mindset. Number one, absolutely 100% prioritize self-care. This is a really hard one for many of us. We want our families to thrive. We want them to succeed. So we give and we give and we do and we do and we care for everyone around us. And ourselves? Well, we're the last one that we think about. We're givers. We're nurturers. It's not about us, but it is. It is about us. We are the leader of this system. And if we struggle, it struggles. They struggle. If we thrive, they thrive. Remember my intention for this year? Be the thermostat, not the thermometer. It is so much easier to be responsive than it is to set the tone. But when we set the tone, the vibration, the temperature, when we are living at a higher level, others around us, they respond. And so if we can put ourselves at that higher level as the leader of our system, our family will also thrive. So we need to take care of ourselves physically, emotionally, mentally. I think that the physical components are the simplest to recognize. Simple, not easy. Your health, your body, your wellness. Because if you are run down, if you are unwell, unhealthy, if you are lacking energy, if you are struggling to just physically get through your days, your life, you are absolutely not thriving. You are simply surviving. And yes, we have all at periods in our lives, we have all had times that were pure survival, 100%. But for most of us at this point in life, most of us aren't in that stage. Most of us have teenagers, preteens, young adults. Most of us have thankfully moved on out of the survival stage, or at least the one that comes with having babies and young children. And if there is another survival stage that is in front of me, I'm going to need to respectfully ask you to keep that to yourself because I just don't have the brain space to think about that one right now. So just let me live in my blissful ignorance, okay? But if you are not taking care of you and your health, your body, your wellness, then you are only surviving. And if you want your family to thrive, then you need to do more than survive. So very top of this list is to take care of yourself. Eat a balanced, healthy diet. Exercise regularly. Honestly, exercise daily. For reals. No, you don't need a full-on workout every day, but you absolutely need movement. So if it's not a workout day, then you better be getting those steps in. But exercise, and make sure that you diversify your exercise. Use a 3-prong approach: cardio, strength training, and stretching, and mix things up within these groups. For your cardio, walk, run, cycle, dance, hike, box. I don't care, whatever makes you happy, but keep your body guessing and keep your mind sharp. Do strength training, lift weights. Start wherever you are in your fitness journey, of course, but don't be afraid to lift weights. No, they don't need to be super heavy weights. I mean, they can be. I love to lift heavy weights, and it make my actual weightlifting teens shocked. But you just need to lift weights. It builds muscle mass. It supports your frame, your body. After 40, we absolutely will continue to lose muscle mass and strength if we don't do something about it. But we also need mobility, functional fitness. So doing things like stretching, yoga, Pilates, bar. Oh, did I tell you that I have been doing that P-Volve program along with Peloton for maybe like 3 or 4 months now? Well, if I have not, oh my God, I have to pause here and tell you how much I absolutely love, love, love it. Highly recommend. It's the one that you may see ads for that Jennifer Aniston is super into and part of. It's a ton of stability and mobility and strength. It's very similar to maybe what you'd call like a Pilates bar fusion. Pilates with a hint of bar and a dash of strength. It has resistance band training. It's amazing. I love it. And P-Volve, if you are out there listening, I love you. But that functional fitness is what will help you when you turn weird or you pick up something or you step off of a step like strange. So stretch, do yoga, do Pilates, stay mobile, stay flexible. Pilates, J.H. Pilates, the actual creator of Pilates, said, "You're only as young as your spine is flexible." You need to take care of your body from the outside and the inside. So you should also put healthy things in your body and keep unhealthy things out. Eat healthy, a balanced diet, lots of fruits and vegetables and protein. Take it easy on processed foods, all in moderation, all in balance. Take supplements, vitamins, collagen, olive oil, drink water, lots of water, so much water. And then there's the really hard part of this one, the part that I know that I am not the only one who struggles with. I totally struggle with justifying it to myself sometimes, but we also need to make time for any activities that you love, like hobby kinds of things, things that replenish your energy, things like reading or art or oh my God, see, this is not my strong suit. I cannot even think of what normal people hobbies are. Journaling? Journaling, meditation, those totally count. But playing music, listening to music. Ooh, golf. You get the idea, right? So yeah, send me your hobbies because I clearly need ideas. Right now, my hobbies are fitness and work. So this is why I need reminders here too. But continue to push yourself outside of your comfort zone and try new things. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't take yourself too seriously. Just enjoy it. Continue to challenge yourself to accomplish new things. Whatever it is that makes you happy, do it. Make happiness a top priority. Your happiness, I should probably add. And number 2, embrace change. All of this right now, all of this that we're going through, all of this is change. I mean, it's why we're all here, right? Everything is different than it was a few years ago. We are different, right? I mean, we look different. We feel different. Most of us are at some stage of menopause/perimenopause, which cringily used to even be referred to as, quote, the change. Ew, right? What a patriarchal term. Like, let's just say they've changed and call it a day. We don't need to study like women's bodies or anything. They'll be fine. They're done having babies, so who even cares? It is crazy, y'all. I actually went to a presentation on this at a conference a few months ago, and I was shook by the numbers. Like, so shook that I have had to literally go in a couple of times and search for myself because I'm like, there is no way that any of that is true. But yep, according to Harvard, which is so much more reliable than according to my memory. So that's due to Perry too. And ironically, I was at a conference at Harvard when I saw this presentation. But 99% of research on aging, it doesn't include or account for menopause. And yet we're like 50% of the population. And when you look at age-related issues and disease, like 75% or more are influenced by menopause. And because of this, most doctors don't even understand the female body or know how to treat us. And they said that even though 70% of us have symptoms from perimenopause or menopause, only 10% actually are given any treatment options from their doctors for those symptoms. Shockingly, women are really just basically told, deal with it. Deal with it? Can you even imagine if men were told to deal with it? Okay, I will stop. I need to stop. It's absurd. And I could go talking on, but this is absolutely not in any way what we are talking about today. Oh, and they cited this one doctor. I'm sorry, I guess I'm not done. The doctor said that she would be handed notes on the patient and they would have it labeled as WW syndrome. And no, not Wonder Woman syndrome, whiny woman syndrome. Whiny woman syndrome. I'm sorry. I just cannot with that one. Okay, let's get back on track. Change. Yes. We face a lot of change at this point in our lives. Yes, physically and partially related because of hormones, but also because our kids are growing up, our parents are changing, life is changing. But we face a lot of emotional changes too. Our home and our work and our daily lives are so very different. Our role is different. Everything is different. I mean, that's why we're all here, right? This is the thing we have in common. This is the invisible string that ties us all together across states and countries and continents, across demographics. We are all going through this change together, and yet going through it alone. We need to learn how to not only manage this change, but embrace it if we want to thrive. If we want our families to thrive, it's that same stability change dialectic that we have talked about over and over. I mean, literally, from episode 1, I am certain we've talked about it. Our kids are becoming more independent. Our family relationships are changing. If we get stuck in the way that things were or in the way that things worked in the past, we cannot move forward. We need enough of that stability to provide the consistency and the comfort that our families need. But we need to leave room for the growth and the change that is also occurring. This isn't easy. I get it. We just had our Growing Pains Jenna Zen episode last week, right? I am going through it right with you. It sucks, 100%. But we know that we can't thrive if we let ourselves get sucked into that mindset. If we want our mindset to thrive, we need to embrace these changes as opportunities for growth rather than sucky challenges. Gosh, I wish the Harvard study referred to them as being sucky challenges. How great would that be? I mean, it would be honest at least, right? I'm a mess today. Okay, but we need to instead focus on adaptability and on all of the positives that new phases bring. We need to reframe it all. reframe our focus, reframe our roles, reframe our approaches to parenting. We need to reframe ourselves. See, Reframing Me isn't just a cute name for a podcast, right? It is literally what we are doing. And then segueing like a rock star into number 3, we need to reframe our personal goals. Set personal goals. Having goals keeps you motivated and gives you a sense of purpose beyond the frame of motherhood. And long before we became mothers, we all had goals. Of course, those goals had changed somewhat as we grew up anyway. I mean, I never did get to star in that sitcom. God, I so wanted to be Alyssa Milano or that girl on Kate and Allie. Remember that show? Gosh, that was a cute show. I had to give up on being in Teen Beat or on the cover of Bop, but we all had goals and we attained some of them. Maybe one of you even made it into Bop, the Big Bopper. I think that was the offshoot of Bop, or maybe that was like the special edition. I don't remember, but I did not. I did not make it even into the regular Bop. But even out of high school and college and young adulthood, young parenthood, and now at this point, we absolutely need to revise or to reframe, or maybe even set entirely new goals. But we need both short-term and long-term goals, whether they're related to our careers or our hobbies or our personal development. If you haven't already done that journey with us, go back into the archives. We did a whole goal-setting journey a number of months back. Around episode 115, it was 6-ish, I think 6 parts where we took our time and we really dove into goals in all areas of our lives. We all could use a refresher. I know I always can. But not only set goals, but also break those goals down into manageable steps. It's that long-term picture all the way down to what can I literally do today that's a step towards my goals. You want to manifest success. Establish what your definition of success is and set goals to help you get there. Never stop doing this. Yes, the obvious angle to this is career-oriented, and I am a firm believer in always evolving along your career path. Personally, I know that I'll never retire, but if it's not career-wise, we can make it more generalized. How do you define success? Manifest that success and work towards it. Success in your relationships, success in your personal development. Keep setting new goals all of the time. When you stop having something to move towards, you stop growing and thriving. And number 4, cultivate gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. And this totally is the quickest way to create a more positive outlook. Gratitude puts kindness out into our families and into the world and into the universe. It puts joy and love into the world around us. And gratitude ultimately sends peace into our families and into the world. And feeling gratitude, it makes us thrive, and it helps everyone in our lives thrives too. Another one of those so very simple, but not necessarily easy sometimes things, right? But finding things in each situation, even the not so great ones, but finding things to be grateful for because they are there. It's not always obvious, but they are there. Finding things every day to be grateful for. And it doesn't need to be the big things. Those are easy to be grateful for. It's the little things that make a huge difference sometimes. Grateful for running water, for food in the pantry, for sunny days, for cooler weather. Oh my God, that is what I am grateful for right now. Beautiful fall weather. But keep a gratitude journal. Write down things that you are grateful for each day, no matter how small. You'll train your brain to see them, even when you're not always feeling it. Number 5, Take care of yourself on the outside and stay youthful. I don't mean become vain or obsessed with your appearance or obsessed with youth. Good Lord. I don't think I'd be 20 again if someone paid me. But take care of your outside and you will feel better inside. There are obvious ones, of course: sunscreen, moisturizer, eye cream, retinol. Opt for natural ingredients wherever you can. But let's not stop here. And yes, I do know that I just said natural ingredients, and now I'm about to say a very contradictory statement. I get it. But y'all, I am a work in progress. I do my best. But anyway, I do think that a good portion of feeling your best is in your appearance, making it the best that you can for how you feel, whether it's through self-perception or through how you think others perceive you. If you perceive your appearance as being old, or you think that others perceive your appearance as being old, that is going to make you feel old. So don't let yourself go. Now, it doesn't mean that you need to get Botox or fillers or whatever. Although if you do, girl, you do you. Zero judgment. It doesn't even mean that you can't embrace your grays. You absolutely can. Personally, I cannot see myself doing that. But again, if that's you, I support you 100%. Help yourself to feel confident in your appearance. If you look in the mirror and you see an old, miserable person, you're going to be an old, miserable person. If you look in the mirror and you see beauty, then you'll thrive. Obviously, beauty is a totally subjective construct, but if you need lashes, right? I told you about my Mr. Potato Head. They're growing. It's only been like less than 2 weeks. I took a photo and all of my serums and stuff, I can see them growing. So yay. But if you need lashes or makeup or highlights or your nails done, whatever, if you don't need those things, that's fine too. But just don't let yourself go. What you wear, the clothes that you put on your body, it impacts how you perceive yourself and how others do too. Again, when you look at what you are wearing, if you feel beautiful, then girl, fantastic. If you look and you feel old and frumpy, it's time for you to shop, because that is how you will let yourself get old and frumpy if you present yourself to the world that way. Is there a shelf life on clothing? No, there is not. But is there a shelf life on the style of clothing? 100%. Does it look like something you remember your grandma wearing? Donate that shit stat. And I would right now like to remove the sentence, "I am too old," from your lexicon. This should not be uttered unless you are talking about a toxic behavior that you are too old for. You are never too old for something to wear if you feel good in it. When I look at some clothes, I do think, I wish I had somewhere to wear that. And yes, that by proxy may relate back to age and to not having the experiences that deserve a particular outfit. But I don't ever think I'm too old for that. If I like it, I wear it. Don't get stuck. Embrace what's new. Stay current. Music, TV, celebrity gossip, technology, clothes, hair, makeup, lingo. Scroll TikTok. Actually, you know what? Lingo. That might not be a current word. I might have to change that. Is there a different word for lingo now? Okay, but you know what I mean. Like the words that people say. Scroll TikTok. Look at influencers. You don't want to find yourself with an outdated hairdo, wondering who these celebrities are while you continue to only listen to pre-1998 music. Yes, 90s music was the peak, in my opinion, but just like with food, we have to keep it in moderation. Number 6, reduce your stress and anxiety. Keep life as uncomplicated as possible. Remove any drama or toxicity. Be mindful, meditate, bring attention to the present moment, whether you're walking or eating or having a conversation or watching TV. Be mindful. Be present while you're doing it. Yoga fits in here too, not just for the what we do and work out with our body, but yoga is a way to really be connected to the present moment, and it builds us up to manage what we encounter off of the mat as well. So that could do a double duty. It helps if we can learn in life, in our families, at work, with our teens. But if we can learn that we truly need to pick our battles, if we fight over everything that can be fought about, we're not going to have much time for anything else, all those hobbies I told you to have. So think about what really matters and what doesn't. And then you should probably even think again, because there are so few things that are actually and truly worth fighting over. Look at the big picture. Is this really worth my stress and my anxiety? Focus on the things that you can control. Our stress often comes from trying to control things that are just uncontrollable. And we can reduce anxiety by focusing on the things that we can control and we can change. Yes, once again, reframing the way that we see things. So practice mindfulness. Be present. It helps you enjoy the moment and it reduces your stress about the past and your anxiety about the future. So try to incorporate mindfulness practices like meditation or deep breathing, or simply pausing to notice your surroundings throughout the day, looking up from your phone once in a while. It's also a great way to practice gratitude. Number 7, and I know this is another one that I do say a lot, don't take things personally. So much easier said than done. But surprisingly little is actually about us. And yet we all take so many things personally. And some of that comes from making assumptions about people and situations and life. So just don't assume. Don't make assumptions. So many issues could be cleared up if we just asked more questions and didn't assume we knew the other person's thoughts. Whether it's assuming that our teen knows that we want them to take out the trash. I mean, yes, the full trash can would suggest it, but don't assume they realize this, which then makes us take it personally that they expect us to do it, because clearly they don't think that we do enough and they think that they're entitled to just sit back while we do everything. They're not appreciative of anything that we do for this family. Yeah, see how you can spiral? Or assuming that our boss knows we want to move up in the company, and clearly the promotion of your coworker is actually all about you and your lack of knowledge or your lack of skill or your incompetence, when you have absolutely no idea any of the rest of the information about why that coworker was promoted. Or when your partner is short and distracted lately, and we know that it's because they're angry with us. They don't love us anymore. They think we're unimportant. But it's probably not even about us, despite the fact that we feel that way and we take their behavior personally. So just realize that your life and your relationships will be a lot better if you don't make a big deal out of everything. Of course, there are actual big deals, but not nearly as many big deals as most of us feel like there are. Like if you zoomed out and could see life from a wider perspective, most things are not nearly as big of a deal as we make them out to be. So just practice the pause. Stay calm, pick your battles. Is this the hill that you want to die on? If so, great, go for it. Maybe it is one of those actual big deals. But if not, then just let it go. Practice the pause. Number 8, stay connected with your teens. It may be different now, but it is just as important to be connected with them now as it was when they were little. It's just different. Maintaining a strong relationship with our teens can be challenging, but it is so essential for creating a thriving home environment. And guess what? As luck would have it, if you haven't already listened or if you want a refresher, we had a whole conversation about this back in January, episode 106. But very simply, open communication, active listening, caring about the things that they care about, finding activities that you can enjoy together, avoiding judgment of them, appreciating the person that they are, not the person who you thought that they would be, getting to know their friends, being a part of their daily lives, finding organic connections, and creating connections where you need them to be. And relatedly, number 9. Nurture all of your relationships with your teens, with your partner, friends, families, coworkers, your favorite podcaster. Healthy relationships contribute significantly to your overall well-being. So keep communicating. Family, friends, go places, do things, find organic ways to interact with people. Foster your relationships. Create a connection with something bigger than yourself. Maybe it's a church or a spiritual community. Maybe it's volunteering at a dog rescue. Be a mentor to someone. People who focus only on themselves and on their own needs are much more likely to age and to struggle. So instead, participate in something bigger, and it's going to bring you meaning and purpose in your life, and it's going to help you thrive. And last, but absolutely not least, practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. Being kind to yourself is essential for maintaining a positive mindset, especially during challenging times. And are these challenging times or what? Treat yourself with the same kindness and the same understanding that you would friend that you would give to your own kids, the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a younger version of you. Acknowledge your efforts, forgive your mistakes, celebrate your achievements no matter how small. Extend yourself grace and treat yourself with kindness. You are doing your best, and that is good enough. You are good enough. If we can integrate these tips into our daily lives, we can create that thriving mindset that will allow us to navigate the complexities of life with grace and with positivity. And remember the law of attraction and the law of resonance? We have episodes about this too. We don't attract what we want in our life or the relationships that we want in life. We don't even attract what we love, but we do attract what we are. So set the tone of your home. Set the temperature of your relationships. Be the thermostat, not the thermometer. The mindset of the leader is the success or failure of the organization. And you, my beautiful friends, are the leader of that organization you call your family. And if you want it to be successful, then don't forget you. You need to thrive too. Thank you so much for listening. Please remember to follow the show so that you don't miss out on any new content. And please share it with your friends who might also benefit from or enjoy the show, because that's how we are going to continue to grow our community. Reach out to me on socials, on Instagram and TikTok. It's Reframing Me. On Facebook, it's Reframing Me. And join the Facebook group, Reframing Me, the podcast community, to connect with other women who are also raising teens and rediscovering themselves. Until next time, be well and communicate.